Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm a little late. I don't know what happened with the time. I knew it was almost time to go, and then somebody pinged me, and I was chatting back to them and realized it is, which they just chatted back to me on WhatsApp, and I realized what time it was. So, hello, Lisa, and hello, Cheryl. It's great to see you both. Cheryl, how's it going over there in Gay Paris? Hi, Coco. Great to see you. I was telling Dino and Eric my live stream is going on just in case they're at home and want to jump in. I have that friend Shay in Carcassonne as well, but she does not do the online world much. So how has your week been? Mine has been interesting, a little bizarre, but not bad. Well, fun things. Let's see. After my live stream, Dale and I have to go to Walmart and then Aldi. I don't know that I'd call that fun, but we did have a nice little date night last night at one of our favorite Thai restaurants, though, and that was good fun. So our weekend started with a lovely little dinner at Thai. Hi, Dino. And tomorrow, I think we're just going to try to stick home and get some work done. Now that I'm paying myself to do work, I'm much more motivated to do it and less resentful about having to do it. Hi, Eric. Bonsoir. Wait, that's good evening, right? Coco, if you ride the shopping carts and have a race, it could be fun. Oh, Cheryl, backing up. Cheryl said it's hot again today, but had some fun adventures this week and met some people. I'm really glad. I can't wait to hear about the tattoo shop lady. I do like me a good tattoo shop person. Ew, showed my bat wings. There, I'll just hold them in place. I hear, Eric, that you and Dino are both now in the lovely coolness of a newly installed air conditioner. Hi, Jeff. Good evening. Good evening, damn it. Are you having a good evening? Are you sure? I did not have my live stream last week because it was the 4th of July and we were at friend's house enjoying their company. But I missed this. I missed talking to you all. Cheryl says, tattoo lady had a fun opening party. Well, good. I'm glad. I think it's great when you get to actually meet and connect with people, especially in a big place like Paris. That feels like it would be hard to do. So I'm glad you had encounters where you got to enjoy things. Dino, I'm sure the air conditioning has changed your life, especially now that you're in the third heat wave of the summer so far. We are definitely hot here, but it's North Carolina hot. It's always in the 90s this time of year in North Carolina. So, and this year it's compounded, taking these off. This year it's compounded by a drought. We are definitely getting a little bit better there. I'm trying to figure out what I was going to say. I lost my train. We're getting like thunderstorms every afternoon, like it used to happen in North Florida. Just every afternoon at 3 o'clock, you'd have a downpour that lasted 5 minutes, and then it would go away and be sunny and hot again. And we've been getting that, but it's not ever enough rain to break the drought yet. I hope it's getting better. I hope the drought will be over soon, but at the very least, our shallow well here at the house, we live on well water, but our well is pretty shallow. At least we're not worried as much now about our well going dry in the drought because the heavy rain showers are sinking into our ground. Our grass is greened right back up again. It's not as crunchy as it was. Lisa, yes, Clove is having a blast in the background. She's being naughty because she knows I'm not paying attention to her right now. She's over by the back door and she's doing the little dog digging thing. And she has she's added to what our former dog did. And there is a threadbare patch in the carpet right now over there because my first dog started it and now she's finished it. So that's a part of the carpet that we will be patching before we list the house. But yes, she does enjoy a good friction dig on the couch arms and on the floor. We don't care about the couch. It's just going into the Goodwill anyway when we leave. Dino, you reach 41 Celsius in Carcassonne. That's like 102, 103. I can't remember. Maybe 104. I don't know. This Englishman thought he might spontaneously combust or melt. Not sure which. My husband has felt that way in the last few days. He's like, wait a minute, I'm 54. Do men get hot flashes too? And I said, well, yes, hormonal changes happen in men too. So welcome to the club, honey. But yes, it's really just insane. I usually have this pillow behind my back so I can sit up more, but it actually seems like it warms up if I sit too long with my back into it, and then it feels like an actual heat pad in my back. I don't need that. I mean, it's cool in the house. We have air conditioning, central air, but we try to keep the thermostat between 75 and 78, just to make sure we're not running too much electricity. This was our most expensive utilities month. Cheryl seems like she's an inroad to a lot of people. You got all kinds of recommendations on apartment hunting banks. Wow, that's cool. The tattoo lady is a font of information. I always felt like that about I have a tattoo lady here who has a shop, and we both were able to help each other find lots of different things in the area. So I always find that fun. Coco, it's super dry there. Not allowed in the forest from 1400 to 2200 hours. Wow. Just in case of fires or in case somebody's silly and sets a fire by accident. That's the way it was here. And in fact, Dale took our Clove, the dog, for a walk earlier today between 2 and 3. And they went to a place close by, a trail, and it looked like either there had been a controlled burn there because there were the trees were kind of charcoaly on the outside, up about 10 feet up, and a lot of the undergrowth had been burned out. And we were trying to figure out if it had just been a lightning fire that got put out because the flames got high enough and then the rain came down, or if it was a controlled burn, because we didn't hear anything about it. But it's been dry here until suddenly we've been finally getting that 5 minutes of rain every afternoon. Jeff, you've been sunny and dry now for like 8 months. Yeah. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad all over. The entire south of the United States from North Carolina down has been in a pretty bad drought this year. I'm kind of hoping these weird flash thunderstorms that have been happening almost every day are breaking that and it won't go back to dry. But I know that the city's water supply is Falls of Neuse Lake. Here's what it's called. And it's the water supply that all the rivers feed into that do the whole triangle area, which is a huge area of people. And anybody on city water is worried because the lake is about 12 inches too low. Yes, Coco, I'm all for a rain dance. I have a friend who's part of the Cherokee Nation, and she's a tribal leader in this area. I wonder if they have one. I should email her and say, why aren't you doing your rain dance, lady? Cheryl, you have one of those little fans that is rechargeable, a lifesaver on the metro. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We will probably have something like that. We're actually thinking too about bringing our Ryobi fans with us, the battery operated fans, for when we're inside and need that bit of air. We'll just have to get adapters to be able to plug in the chargers or get new chargers if the batteries are compatible. Yes, my giant coffee cup. It's not that giant. It's only like 20 ounces. And yes, today it has coffee in it. It's very, very, very light coffee. It's not super strong at all. It's more like coffee flavored water with a little stevia in it. So this coming week is going to be interesting. I have to, on Tuesday, this little calcified tendonitis dealio, which is getting bigger. I think when I sprained my finger, I exacerbated something in there. And so it's growing and it's adding to the thing. And it doesn't hurt right now. I can squeeze it or do anything with it. But my concern is that with overuse of it, it's just going to get worse unless I have this removed. So Tuesday, I have to pay $1,700 to have them stick something in there and blast it like they blast kidney stones with lasers or something, and then they suck it out. And just for this, $1,700. That's, I wish I could wait till France to fix it, but I don't think it can wait because I'm worried that it will become inflamed and sore again. The more I use it, the more I get more involved in my art channel and in doing teaching and tutoring videos. Yeah, those little USB charged fans, Cheryl, are pretty cool. We got the Ryobi battery operated fans because I did a lot of outdoor art shows, and they're usually in the summer and late summer, or all the way through spring to late summer and fall even. And so when it was super hot in the tent, we had those fans that would help us and draw customers into the tent because they wanted to get in front of the fans too. Yes, Eric. 1,700 US dollars. I don't know what that is in euros, but it sucks. Yes, they sent me the estimate. Now, I don't know, my insurance may cover part of that, but I doubt it because we haven't met our deductible yet. Our deductible is $7,000, which means you pay out of pocket until in that year you meet that deductible. And if you don't meet that deductible, then you just keep paying. If you do meet it, then everything after that's 100% covered, but it's still $7,000 out of our pockets before it gets covered. So yes, that will be added to my medical bills, which already are about $3,000 that I am making payments on right now. Eric, it's $1,700, not 17,000. Thank heavens. I'd cancel the surgical procedure if it was 17,000. But 1,700 is quite too much anyway. Let's see. And then Thursday, Dale and I are going to Durham, which is it's a 15-minute drive to the place we're going. We're meeting with a group that I just found. It's a French-speaking meetup group. It's a meetup group where people get together and they can be of all levels of French, beginner to high level. The guy who leads it is a French teacher and has lived for many years in France, so he's obviously in the sea level of speaking French, but apparently they all get together just so they can practice conversing with one another, which is what we really need. And in Durham fashion, our crunchy, crazy city fashion, we're meeting at a Korean restaurant. So we're meeting at a Korean place, and it's got a pub that goes with it. It's called Namu, and it's a big pub where they have their own brew pub, as well as have Korean dishes to speak French. So that'll be fun. And yes, Coco, oh la vache is right. That is expensive. Eric, wow, you betcha. What you hear on my WhatsApp is certain people distracting me that are also in this group. So Thursdays, there's that. And then, so Tuesday's my surgery. Thursday, I'll have probably a little blankie around my finger, a little gauze and wrap around my finger. Thursday is the speaking thing. And then Friday, I have my regular GP, general practitioner doctor appointment to discuss some things based on medications that I'm taking and what kind of things we want to do with them. And so it's going to be a doctory week, but at least we have a little fun French conversation. And at least Dale and I got to go on our date night last night and eat delicious Thai food. So that was fun. And tonight, as an extension of date night, and after we return from Walmart and Aldi, we will have a date night part deux. And I have a little bottle of rosé chilling in the refrigerator right now, a Béziers rosé. And much as I do not want to live in Béziers, it is a beautiful little town, but also they do make a great rosé. I have got to say, it is delicious. I had a small couple ounces of it last night just to try it, and now it's in the fridge chilling and just calling to me. Dino, I do feel a little nervous about the French-speaking group, though we're going in pretty much knowing that we'll probably be pretty quiet at first, just getting a feel for the group. I am not comfortable at all yet with my ability to have a conversation outside of silly little textbook conversations like, excusez-moi, où est les toilettes? And so, yeah, I am nervous, but I'm also excited that we found a group and that we can meet with them at least once a month until we leave, just to get those listening skills going. I want to be able to listen and understand what somebody is saying. Eventually, the conversation will come to my ability to speak, but right now, I want to understand. Yes, Eric, 14th of July. I hear they don't call it Bastille Day anymore. What do they call it? Just July 14th? Or a lot of people don't. Um, I bet you're excited. Have you ever seen the fireworks over the castle on Bastille Day? And are they going to have them as dry as it's been? Um, I know last year they had them and people were saying, you really shouldn't do that. It's really dry. But Cheryl, you have a spreadsheet of all the wines you've tried there. You know, I should really think about that. I should have Dale. Oh, I can make Dale make us a wine spreadsheet that we could also offer to people for a small price. He can put together a really good spreadsheet and people could test out wines and stuff like that. That's a good idea. You should think about that too. Eric, it will be your first fireworks display. I saw it online last year and it was freaking beautiful. That's 3 days from now. Cheryl, you're my kind of woman. We got to hang out when I get there to have a wine spreadsheet. Lisa, National Girls. Jeff, no fireworks in Perpignan for Fête Nationale. Is it because of the dry? So they just call it national holiday? Okay, Fête Nationale. That makes sense. See, Dino, you're our kind of people too. You like the idea of having a wine spreadsheet. Jeff doesn't drink, but maybe he could do a kebab spreadsheet. You could do a spreadsheet and just try every kebab place in Perpignan and rate them. Though you do have your favorite place, so. Eric, are you all smelling any smoke in Carcassonne? I know they had that small fire, but that was probably just something that was put out quickly. Some Dumbo probably throwing a lit cigarette butt into the grass. Coco, they're doing a laser show instead of fireworks where you live and a big screen for the France versus Spain game. Oh, that sounds cool. Are they playing on the 14th? That would be kind of awesome. Jeff, you've tried just about every one of them. See, you could have a kebab spreadsheet. People might want to know what's the best kebab in Perpignan. And once you've moved to Toulouse, what's the best kebab place in Toulouse? So far, since I've heard Daniel Tostado and Baguette Bound talk about it, you're allowed on a visitor visa to make a little money on remote work online. You're just not allowed to take jobs from French people. Cheryl, you take a photo of the bottle, your initial impressions, and then a second column if you have it again. That's cool. I like that. Well, I have found 2 wines from the regions of South France, the 2 rosés that I absolutely love, and I found them in the last month here. One of them I've lost the name of. I don't remember the name. It's in the Provence region, and it's Languedoc, I think, region. But anyway, it's a really good rosé, and then this one is called something Bizier. That is a rosé that I got yesterday evening in our local. It's called Weaver Street Market. It's our local kind of co-op grocery store. Very expensive, except when you get a good wine special going on. But they're both pretty darn tasty, and I can't wait to see if I can find them once we've moved and get there, because they are from that region. That's cool, Coco. Jeff, I'm glad the fires appear to be getting under control around there, but I hate that it's still so dry. Ooh, Cheryl, a cheese spreadsheet. Now you're talking wine and cheese. Maybe you should just do a tab where you've got the wine on one tab and the cheese on another tab of the same spreadsheet. Dino, there was a fire close to the Cité today, but it has been closed down. I think most of the worst fires have been closer to where Jeff lives. Yeah. So many people. I was watching somebody interview a farmer, and he just fell to pieces. He had only recently bought a larger piece of farm equipment, a tractor, and everything just burned in the fire. He lost everything, including the brand new piece of farming equipment he had just been able to afford and purchased. But that's very sad. Hi, Xavier. How are you doing, sir? Dino, you can get a good kebab in the ancient cité here at Carcassonne. Once in a while, it just has to be done. Well, sure. I never had a kebab until we went to France, and there was a kebab shop on almost every block in Paris in the arrondissement we were staying in. So that was the first time I think I've ever tasted a kebab. Now, I mean, we have them here now too. We have several Mediterranean restaurants that serve kebab, but not in the cool way they do it in Europe and in other places. Australia, I think, has a lot of kebab shops as well. Xavier, how is La Rochelle at the moment? Is it super hot? Is it breezy? Are you enjoying your stay? Yeah, Jeff. I don't think I've had a kebab here more than once, but that's because they're just not the same. We have Mediterranean restaurants. We don't have like Lebanese or specifically kebab shops that I know of. Maybe I should look. Maybe they're starting to pop up more often. But I do love those flavors. And Dino, if you've watched Jeff doing his live streams long enough, you know he's definitely telling the truth that he's obsessed. Cheryl, you were married to an Air Aiden? I'm not sure what that is. Iranian. Okay. That you were voice to texting. But you've eaten so many kebab. I'm sure. I'm really excited to get over into that neck of the woods. There was somebody that commented on my last night video, my food video comparisons of food culture, dining culture between the US and France. And they were just like, I hate dining culture. I can't stand 2-hour meals. Who wants to talk to somebody for 2 hours? I'd be bored and have to get up and go do something. And I'm just like, okay, to each his own. But this person is determined to get back to the US. They don't like anything about living in France. I don't think. They seem to be ready to go. And I was like, all right. Some things are not for everyone. But I love the fact that there's so much different food over there. There's more access to North African food and Middle Eastern foods and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed that as well. And I cook. I like to cook. So I'm sure I can gather the ingredients I need to make a real decent Mexican dinner, for which I will invite all of you Americans who miss Mexican food. Though I know Jeff and Richard, when you guys went to Toulouse, you found a really decent Mexican place. Dino, has anyone taken the French civic exam? Mine will be due in the next few months. So any of you who have, let Dino know. Yeah, Cheryl, it was kind of, but I try to give people the benefit of the doubt and not think that they're just down on everything all the time. I think that some people are just so ingrained in American stuff and American foods because there is a wide variety of foods here too. They're just a different continental type variety. I think some people just have a difficult time adapting, especially people who don't want that slow down life, who want to be in the rat race and who want to gobble down their food and then go off and do something they think is more valuable for their time and whatever. So I responded to the person very, very politely, and I wish them absolutely the best in finding a life back in the US again, because obviously France is not for them. Oh, and Dino also asks, is anyone studying for the Delph language exams? He'll be taking the B2 exam later this year. Dino, do you have to take that in order to get like your citizenship or residency or tenure or something like that? Or just being able to stay on whatever visa you are on? Coco, what about non-Americans that miss Mexican food? Well, you're welcome also. You're invited to my potluck once I'm over there and have a place to cook and have all my ingredients ready. We will have ourselves a Mexican party. Cheryl, in addition to the super potent garlic you mentioned in your comment on the video, you just had a white nectarine that was like candy. I had a nectarine recently that tasted like nothing. Seriously, it had maybe a little bit of a nectarine taste in the back of your tongue. Otherwise, it just tasted like nothing. It was dry and hard and blech. I did get some Bartlett pears the other day, and I like my pears before they go soft. My husband likes them when they get soft. I like them before they go soft. I like the crunch. I like to eat my pear like an apple. And the Bartlett pear I got two because I usually eat ketogenic, so it was a treat. But I that one had some decent flavor, but because I bought it organic. It was organic out of my local co-op market, and it was North Carolina. No, I don't think it was a North Carolina grower, but it was a grower that, I don't know. It was just a little bit better than some stuff we find. I just can't wait to try the food at the markets, the enclosed or outdoor markets, anything but the supermarket. And I know we'll go to the supermarket to get staples and stuff like that, but I'm not a supermarket produce person. I like to go to our local farmers market, and really lately, it's not any more expensive than the grocery store. Dino, I've been to the US quite a few times and was always shocked at how food was so rushed. Actually, despite what people say, I've found some excellent food in the US, but just that it gets rushed. Yes, Dino, there is some absolutely fantastic food in the US all over. My dad was a barbecue restaurateur in Missouri, where I grew up. And he was renowned for miles. There were people that would drive from St. Louis, which was an hour and 15-minute drive away, just to our small town, just to line up around the block to eat at my dad's barbecue restaurant. And it was delicious. And luckily, I'm also schooled in how he did barbecue properly and the sauce that he made, which was delicious. And I'll be bringing that with me as well. So American barbecue and Mexican. Yeah, I'm up for it. And I'm also very interested in learning to do more French food. I've had a 5-course French meal that I served to our friends here. There were 6 of us, and I did a 5-course French meal for them, and it was wonderful. It was so much fun just to sit and eat good food. So I'm looking forward to learning how to cook in all the different cuisines. But I know Mexican and I know barbecue. And I also am learning a lot of that good Southern dishes that came out of African American people using what they needed to and stuff like that. And I'm also learning some Native American cooking, like cooking with what they call the 3 sisters, which were squash, corn, and beans. And so it's all very interesting. I love food and I love to cook and I love cultural learning. And I love soul food, some good, deep, soulful soul food. And I do love some barbecue. Dino, you are with a titre de séjour for a spouse family, but it has to be renewed every year until you pass the B2. Then you can apply for a multi-annual. That's what I wondered, if you were going for a multi-year visa, which is why you need the language requirement and the civics class. It'll be so much nicer not to have to renew every year. I think you'll do it. I think you're ready. Coco, you made nectarine, ginger, and lime compote with my crazy large nectarine harvest this year. That sounds delicious. What do you put your nectarine, ginger, and lime compote on? Just baguette, or is there a special recipe you like? Cheryl, pears and Roquefort has been my go-to girl dinner lately. Girl dinner is a thing now, and I am for it. For any of you who don't know, in the US, there's a trend called girl dinner, and that's just someone gathering things that they want and just eating whatever they want for dinner. And go-to girl dinner for Cheryl lately has been pears and Roquefort cheese. And that sounds delicious. I told Dale we need to stop by our local market today that has good cheese, because every time I talk to all of you on this channel, my mouth just starts to water, and I need some good Roquefort or Stilton or something in my fridge. Xavier, any cheese marries very well with jam, strawberry, or raspberry. Yes, very much so. I also like certain cheeses, stronger cheeses with just a tiny drizzle of honey is also pretty delicious. Dino, I look forward to your cooking us Alsatian French food too. That sounds wonderful as well, as long as there is no tripe involved. Cheryl says that sounds delicious. Eric loves cooking. Yay. When we get there, you'll make me some couscous. I do love a good couscous. First time I ever had couscous, we were in just outside of Colorado Springs in a little town called Manitou Springs, where Eric and Dino, our mutual friend Shay, is came from most recently Manitou Springs, and there was a Moroccan restaurant that was there, and my former husband and I and our daughter, who was maybe 11 at the time, wandered in, and it was traditional. You sat on cushions on the floor. They washed your hands with orange blossom water and rose water, and you ate with your fingers right out of the tureen of couscous. It was delicious. But I do love couscous, and I want to try Alsatian cuisine, all the things. Coco, you like it on vanilla ice cream or in plain yogurt, also on the side of grilled pork instead of applesauce. That actually, all of those things sound delicious together. I had a friend, Jennifer, when I was young, and her father always made what they called rum pot. And it was a mixture of peaches and ginger and a little bit of rum, and it just sat and fermented. And then they had that on ice cream, and it was delicious. And your compote sounds like it would be yummy too. It made me think of that memory. That's why I like food. It holds memories. Dino, no tripe, definitely not. Unless you make me a haggis. You're part Scottish too. I don't mind haggis, but I've never had a haggis with tripe in it. I mean, I know they use what, the sheep's stomach lining? Is it sheep's stomach? I'm not sure. Dale would not be able to eat it if it had anything to do with lamb or sheep because he is highly, highly allergic. But if it's made with cow, I've tried haggis. I don't mind it at all. But the haggis I tried was, it did not have lamb. It was pretty much beef, I think, and the oat mixture. Cheryl, Roquefort doesn't trigger and I also am part Scottish, by the way. My roots are Irish and Scottish. I'm from the Douglas clan from way back. And my Irish side is McCain. Cheryl, Roquefort doesn't trigger an allergy response with you, but you have to monitor your Stilton intake. Isn't that interesting? Is it just like a lactose intolerance kind of thing? I have an allergy response to a lot of things too, including lettuce. How weird is that? I guess because it's related to ragweed. So I get all stuffy and sneezy when I eat anything lettuce outside, except for arugula or rocket, as the English like to call it. Jeff, you used to live in Woodland Park, Colorado, up Ute Pass from Manitou Springs. Oh, cool. Cool, cool, cool. We only went for 2 weeks once, long, long time ago, because my grandmother lived there and my aunt and uncle lived there, and they were having a big McCain family reunion. So we went and we stayed in a little cabin between Manitou Springs and Pikes Peak on the side of a mountain, and it was the most beautiful view I've ever seen in my life. It was just, well, most beautiful view I've ever seen in my life in a place I was staying in the US. Jeff, I know you don't want stinky cheese. I love the stinky cheeses, not the ones that smell like old moldy socks. I'm not a big fan of those, but I even liked, when I was a kid, I liked Limburger cheese. That's a stinky cheese. And we used to even make people gross out. My mom and I liked to have a Limburger cheese and Braunschweiger sandwich with mayo. We just put all the stinky stuff together in one. Cheryl, do you like brie, Jeff, or is that too stinky? Brie almost tastes like nothing. Actually, I love French brie, and I like the really good bries, the ones that look like they're trying to escape their package. I do not like those little rounds of things that people say is brie here, but it's not really. To me, those smell and taste kind of like motor oil. I mean, I've never tasted motor oil, but they smell like motor oil might taste. But I do love a really good, creamy, like a triple cream brie. Jeff, it's the blue cheese that's off-putting. I think I've liked blue cheese since I was little because my dad used to tease me before we went out to eat that I wouldn't. And I'm a stubborn mule and I always love a challenge. So of course I developed a taste for it because my dad said I wouldn't like it. And now I love all the cheeses. I'm not a huge fan of Havarti because I feel it feels a little waxy to me. Um, but I do love a good extra sharp cheddar. I love a good Roquefort or Stilton or Blue. I love a Wensleydale cheese that has little bits of dried cranberry in it. Isn't Wensleydale is a British Isles cheese, isn't it? Eric, you don't like the stinky cheese either. I like all cheese almost. Even sometimes the fake crap American cheese melted on a hamburger, but that's not real cheese. Cheryl, people who are allergic to penicillin usually can't eat moldy cheeses. Isn't that interesting? I am not allergic to penicillin, but I have weird allergies and some things make me stuffy, but they don't make me like anaphylactic. Like if Dale ate a hamburger that had been cooked on the same grill as a lamb burger or something like that, he would have to go to the hospital. That's how bad his allergy is to lamb. I don't have that level of allergies to stuff, but like light green lettuces and stuff like that. I still love a good salad, but I know I need to have my box of Kleenex next to me a half an hour after I've eaten because it will make me sneeze. Tonight's going to be leftovers. We're going to buy a little rotisserie chicken. Dale's gone to Whole Foods to buy us a little rotisserie chicken while I'm having my group. And I have leftover Thai green curry because the servings portions were so huge at this restaurant that Dale and I spent a lot of time just eating the scallops out of the green curry and then eating his chicken curry dish that was amazingly good. And so we have almost the entire base of the green curry that I'm going to just add chicken to for dinner. Yes, Jeff, I know that sandwich would have you running for the hills. It had most people running for the hills. We liked when my stepdad was being grumpy, my mother adored him. But she did the woman's work and he did the man's work, but even she still worked full time outside of the home, but then came home and she did the free labor too. Now he did the outdoor stuff, but it was very traditional roles. And when she was annoyed with him, she would buy a roll of Braunschweiger and some stinky cheese. Most of the time, it was like a Limburger cheese or something like that. And she and I would sit in the kitchen we had a dine in and eat in kitchen when I was a kid in a little farmhouse. And we would sit in there and eat our sandwiches, and the smell would drive him to the other side of the house. so, so sometimes it was just a way to be passive aggressive with my stepdad. He was raised Amish. I'm kind of surprised he hated anything with stinky cheese or stinky meat. And yes, Jeff, Colorado Springs is a beautiful area. Manitou especially was my favorite because it was very hippified. I hate it when my chat jumps, my screen jumps, and I lose my train. Dino, how do you decide which subjects to go for in your channel? You come up with interesting places to explore and research, and then your food subject was so interesting. Well, thank you. I've actually been getting more and more and more into wanting to study the cultural side of different ways that the US and the French are just culturally different. I think, since we talked that one time about people who go to France and get that VLSTS visa or whatever, but have done no research into cultural norms or things like that. And then they complain that they're not getting by well, or that they don't like this, or that they don't like that, or that they feel somebody's rude, or that they just, it wasn't what they expected. And I think I'm more and more interested in teaching people, especially people who are coming from the US and want to move to France, or from anywhere and want to move to France. I want to dive into that cultural stuff even more. And when I do the cities, that's also for everybody's information and ours too. Just, could we live there? Here's some criteria. And then I learn about those criteria. But I can't go deeply enough into those to get the real history, culture of them, or I'd have like 5 videos. And usually, if I do 3 videos, like the Bordeaux one that I did recently was 3 weeks worth of videos. And the first week I got a little over 600 views. The second week I did barely cracked 200, and the third I barely cracked 200. I'm not even 200. So I feel like diving into the culture more and spending less time on the cities, maybe more brief, more brevity. Like diving into, I want to look at what foods are different in Toulouse or the south of France that are different in the north of France, and how are the politics in the US versus France, and what does right wing mean in France as opposed to right wing in the US? What does left wing mean in France as opposed to left wing or progressive in the US? So I want to study all of those cultural issues between us, um, as well as the towns. And so the food thing, I also want to go into regional foods, like regional foods in the US and how they came to be, and versus regional foods in France and how they came to be, because there's a lot of really interesting stuff there and I love it. And, even with Toulouse and the south of France calling pain au chocolat chocolatine, even those kind of things are fun to learn. Okay, where was I? We've had Jeff running for the hills away from my Braunschweiger sandwich. Dino, okay. Eric cannot tolerate Munster cheese. Dale likes Munster. I think it's okay. I like it fine. Dino, I'm making you miss your English cheeses. Can you not get English cheeses where you are? We'll have to find a way to order in. I do love I love Wensleydale cheese that has dried fruit in it. To me, since Dale and I got together, every Christmas, every holiday season, Christmas season, we have to get a wedge of Wensleydale apricot, and one is Wensleydale with apricot and ginger bits in it, and the other one has cranberries in it, and we always get one of each of those because that just screams holiday to us. But cheddar also, I love sharp, 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 sharp cheddar. The sharper, the better. Jeff, you love bland cheese. There, I said it. No, there's nothing wrong with the bland cheese. Some cheeses are meant to have a more delicate flavor. Don't say bland. Say you have a delicate palate. Cocoa Wensleydale, North Yorkshire. Ugh, ugh. It's just good stuff. Dino, with your Parkinson's, you're not allowed to eat blue cheeses. It has a toxic interaction with your meds. Damn, I'm so sorry. So you love blue cheese, but you can't eat it. I wonder, well, probably wouldn't want to risk trying Roquefort like Jeff, cool. You and I can have the bland cheeses, Eric, while the others have those nasty, smelly cheeses elsewhere. Making ties. Is that like Jack Sprat and his wife, that old nursery rhyme? What he didn't eat, she ate, and vice versa. Eric says exactly. Dino, you recommend English white Stilton with apricot pieces in the cheese. I've had that. It is good. We have a couple specialty shops here that carry several English cheeses and a few French cheeses as well. And that is one. I like it. And I like even apricot, like I said, with a little ginger as well. They just balance each other really well, an apricot ginger sort of cheese. I even found one at Aldi over the holidays that was pretty tasty, but it only comes around the holidays. French Saint Albret cheese. It's a little bit smelly, but not too much. At least you're allowed to eat at least some smelly cheese, Dino, even if you can't eat the blue moldy cheeses. Jeff, culturally, you're fine with kebabs avec frites. Hey, you know what? Kebab and fries, classic combo in Europe. Cheryl, you love the Stilton with apricot. Same. You've also had it with cranberry, which was delicious. Same. I like cheese. I like strong cheese better than more delicate cheeses. And I don't care if, like I said, for like Havarti and provolone cheeses are kind of waxy to me, but maybe they're different somewhere else. Cheryl says there's a new Belgian frite place that just opened up there in Paris. One of the sauces is truffle. It's weird gray color on the frites, but I love truffles. Yeah, I've seen the truffle sauce, and it's gray. It's a very strange color for sure. I love truffle. I do not love things that are cooked with truffle oil. I'm not a fan of that. I find it too strong, but I do love an actual truffle. I look forward to going somewhere and living somewhere where truffles don't cost as much as they do here. They're still pricey, but not as much as they are here. Well, you'll have to come back and report to us what you thought about the truffle fries. Eric says, Jeff, I will make you hachis, parmentier de canard, ooh, duck, some stuffed vegetables, and other plates from Strasbourg. You will forget your kebab. I don't know if you can make him forget it, Eric, but he probably could enjoy it. I don't know, Jeff. Do you like duck? I don't remember. I know Richard does because we've talked about it. Do you know it was interesting in the food video when I spoke about French onion soup? You agree wholeheartedly about how this has bizarrely become a tourist thing. It has. And that said, when Dale and I were there, we didn't realize that onion soup was regional and a certain time of year. It's usually autumn, late summer and early autumn that onion soup is usually seasonal. And so he did get an onion soup while we were there. And we were in a restaurant that was kind of halfway between tourist and French. You could hear different people speaking different languages. But his was tasty, but it wasn't blow your socks off, and it wasn't traditional French food. Now, here in the United States, every single French restaurant seems like, well, no, I shouldn't say that. Many of the French restaurants here have French onion soup on the menu all the time. And sometimes they're tasty, sometimes they're but they're not seasonal because we don't do seasonal here in the US. Everybody just gets what they want when they want it. That was another thing that person complained about that said they were going back to the US is that when I want a strawberry or a tropical fruit, I don't want to wait for it to be in season. I want it when I'm craving it. And I'm just like, okay, then you want the ones that taste not so good. But, that's fine. I am a fan of in-season food. But yes, this couple that had vacationed in Paris complained that that French food wasn't all that because they had eaten at all the tourist places. Of course it didn't taste all that to them. They were taken in by tourism and not by actual places where French people eat. I like to watch Les Frenchies, the Antoine and Colleen, when they talk about how to spot a tourist trap in Paris. And they almost always have those crazy fake flowers draped all over the front, because that's the image that tourists think of when they think of dining in Paris, the flowers draping over everything, over the awning, and it's a great way to take in the tourist money, the tourist dollars. And they talk about don't eat at the place that's closest to the thing you want to see, like closest to the Eiffel Tower. Eat at the place around the corner that's not a touristed place that the locals like. Coco, you think you might need a little cheese snack after that? I'm saying, I told Dale I've heard so much about cheese, and all we have in our fridge right now is either crumbles for salad or a little shredded cheese, like when I make pizza or something with cheese melted on it. And so I want to get some good cheese while we're at the store. And also some string cheese because, who doesn't want a little mozzarella snack? Duck shepherd's pie. Oh, Eric, you won. You win me over. Pas de champignons. No mushrooms for you. Please. But you're certainly open to trying the other bits, and no sauce on my frite. Oh, so is champignon also truffles or mushrooms too? You want your fries crispy when you I agree wholeheartedly. That's one of the reasons, Jeff, that I never really liked poutine from Canada, because it's fries that are crispy when they start, but then they ladle gravy over it and then sprinkle squeaky cheese on top of it, and then the fries get soggy. I don't get that. That just makes no sense at all to me. I want my fries crispy on the outside and a little soft and fluffy in the middle. Eric, this evening you've made salads for Dino, Lebanese tabbouleh and Alsatian potato salad. Yum. Sounds delicious. Cheryl, you had a fun cultural experience on Thursday night. You were coming home on the subway and everyone was watching the match on their phones and oohing and ahhing in unison. That's funny. On the metro, watching the games. Dino, you like Les Frenchies? I do too. They're fun. And he lived in Florida for so long that he feels like he's both American and French, and he is. But they do make a good channel, especially in and around Paris, and they make a good amount of money from it too, I'm sure. Yes, I loved their video of them visiting in Carcassonne. I watched that as well. You look forward to Kristen and Dale making a video of your own visit. He might turn up in a video once we get over there on occasion, but usually it will be me. He does not like to be on camera. In fact, he went to a pen show today, and one of the booth guys asked him and another guy if they minded being on his YouTube channel, and Dale's like, "I'll just back up, please. You just put him in it. I don't want to be." He's camera shy. Jeff, but I will be going all over the place making videos of visits, and Carcassonne is definitely one of those places, whether we end up living there or not. Jeff, you would appreciate just about any food someone took the time to make, as long as it doesn't have some things I don't like in it. And then you can grab something on the way home if you're still hungry. Just eat around the thing you don't like. Jeff, gravy is something you can forgive as long as the gravy is hearty and the cheese curds are substantial. I mean, I like poutine once in a while is a fun little thing, but, and I do prefer a hearty, strong tasting gravy. Yes, but we went to, was it Quebec City where we went to the Irish pub, and I got an Irish poutine, which was basically like shepherd's pie, only on top of fries instead of with potatoes on top of it, and had some shredded cheddar instead of squeaky cheese. That was pretty good. Cocoa poutine can be a tourist thing, though I do know a few Canadians that like the stuff. But the Irish pub poutine in Quebec City was pretty fun. Dino, fries are the one thing that you're not a big fan of. Give me big chunky English chips any day. Sorry, folks. Is a big chunky English chip like a big Texas fry, like a triangle shape kind of thing? My mother-in-law used to do potatoes that way, only roasted in the oven in layers of steaming grease, like the English are wont to do with roast potatoes. I like all kinds of fries, but I don't eat a lot of fried food, and I don't eat very many potatoes because my body does not like them, and they spike my blood sugar, and I don't want to be a diabetic again. I used to be one, and I don't want to go back. Cheryl, you like Le Frenchies, but you think the most useful channel for your Paris experience is Jay Swanson, Paris in My Pocket. I like Jay, and even though I am very ADHD, he's almost a little too frenetic for me. I do watch him, and I like a lot of his stuff, especially when he's running around and exploring different parts of Paris, or going out to another city and exploring. Some of the other stuff is just like, "Nah." But sometimes he gets a little hyper for me. And that's weird because my ADHD kind of likes fast moving and hyper. But yes, I do like him, and I do like the stories of his struggle and that sort of thing. So it looks like we have reached the end of the catching up. Did I miss anybody? If I did, please let me know if I missed a comment or question. And hubby and I are going to sign off in a few minutes and get us to Walmart and then to Aldi. And if I can't find decent cheese, we'll run over to our Weaver Street Market and get some. But there is a good Cabot cheese that I like that even Walmart carries. It's Cabot extra sharp cheddar. So we might get a little bit of that because I need some sharpness. We won't be able to get a decent Roquefort or anything like that at Walmart or even Aldi. Aldi cheeses are hit or miss. And oh, by the way, Cheryl, you had said J. J is better for everyday life. So I agree with that. Le Frenchies is better for people looking to be tourists. Plus, for relatively wealthy people looking to be tourists um, and spend a lot of money because their reviews of stuff, they go to stuff that's just like, that's a little out of my budget. But they're also fun. Coco, time for a cheese snack. You betcha. Maybe I'll just we'll have a little cheese snack with my rosé later, but at dinner time we will have chicken and in green curry, Thai green curry. Eric, love you all. I think you are wonderful, and thank you so much for the chat. And it was really fun. Enjoy Carcassonne and your new air conditioner, Dino and Eric. Coco, you have a great week as well as you, Cheryl. And Lisa, did we lose you? I haven't seen Lisa for a while. Xavier, enjoy the rest of your evening. Coco, Balderson Canadian cheddar is good. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I like the Cabot extra sharp cheddar. And there are a couple others that are you can get in the supermarket that are pretty decent, but we shall see what we shall see. And sure, yes, agreed. Bonsoir. Bye, everybody.